A much-needed 5-set victory over the Iowa Hawkeyes last night to strengthen their tournament case. The Indiana Hoosiers face a much taller task as they play host to reigning national champions and the number 6 ranked Nebraska Cornhuskers. Brzak serves, taken by the Huskers. That's Hames. Bumped up, bumped over, taken by Lebo. Now to Brzak, looking down for Lexi Johnson. Westenhofer for the serve. Taken by Sun to Hames. To Fecky again. Nice dig by Malloy. Sent over. Now Hames at the net. Looking for Stivrins. Nice dig by Asdale. To Malloy. Great job over there with the dig by the Cornhuskers. Now to Indiana just to kind of keep it alive again. Hames at the net. Pushes it over. No one there to get it. And a great point for the Huskers. Lexi's son had a strong season last year with Texas. First team all Big 12. The number 1 recruit in the class of 2017. Big kill by Edwards, but taken by Nebraska. Sweet. Sent over. Bailey Lebo now. Looking for Johnson, kept alive by Sun. To Hames, pushed over by Stivrins, kept alive. And Indiana keeping this rally going. Hames to Fecky, big kill. He is the reigning national champions, number 6 in the country. Really only one tough stretch for them this season is that one off the arms of Sun and into the crowd. So a much needed point for Indiana. Switch to Indiana, but officially it is now a 10-point lead, 22-12. It was right there. Brzak able to keep it alive as it was going out. Hames now. Stivrins just pushes it over. Malloy unable to keep it alive in a sort of on positioning for her. Lebo to serve. Dug out by Maloney. Now Hames. Pushed over right in the perfect spot by Stivrins. No Hoosiers there. And Nebraska taking 13 Huskers. Miller serving. Just gets it over. And a great serve ace for her. Just in front of Megan Kors. And another very quick timeout by Coach Ayers. Fecky to serve. Strong serve, but too much on it. Back-to-back service errors. Indiana gives one up and they take one right back. Stivrins serving. Just gets it over. Good play by Lebo. Edwards just touches it over the net. Lexi Sun almost got there. Not enough time and a big point for Indiana. Overall for the Cornhuskers looking to go back-to-back this season and off to a good start at the tail end of this season with a 2-0 set lead over Indiana. Good dig out off the serve by Lebo. Lexi Johnson blocked back for Nebraska. Stivrins looking for the kill. Tipped off and found Lebo. Now another kill attempt by Lexi Johnson, blocked by Stivrins and Fecky. Stivrins again. Great dig out by Brzak. Now the net. Hames to Sun, pushes it over. Great way to keep it alive by Malloy. Indiana still with it. Another great dig by Nebraska. Not enough by Megan Miller, and Indiana gets the point. Brzak back to serve. Dug out by Maloney to Hames. To Sun. Out of play, and Indiana, just like that, only down 2. 14-11 in favor of the Cornhuskers. Serve taken by Kors to Brzak, dumped over by Malloy. Met at the net was Lofton, but kept alive on the Indiana side. Now Malloy. Sun. Now to Hames. Off the chest of Lebo, kept alive. Now Hames again. Looking for Stivrins with the kill. Lauren Stivrins waking up in set 3. 9 kills on the night. So Nebraska up 23-15. A road win for Nebraska, it looks like here. Westenhofer up to Hubert with the big kill. Brianna Edwards once again serving that big, powerful serve that she's so known for. But that time, the service error into the net, and Indiana falls 3-0 tonight against the number 6 ranked Nebraska Cornhuskers. It is the second half of a home-and-home series between the Indiana Hoosiers and the Purdue Boilermakers. Good evening, I'm Dan Black. Alongside me is Brandon Riley. Kendall Bierman is served now for the Hoosiers. Right off the fingertips of Jenna Otek, and that's an ace for Indiana.
And this is something that
Boilermakers, great dig out, and right off the arms of Brooke Peters, point IU.
And Azaria Stahl.
Momentum, you'd say.
Yeah, they need to get a side out right here.
DeBrisic slammed down by Ali Badowski, but now taken by Purdue. Brisic now to Meehan. Asdale. Slammed, but too much for Purdue on that one. 10-9.
Yeah, just a mole shot, but she saw the block was late, and she used it to her advantage.
Brisic now just pushed over by Bierman. Slammed down the back into the net, and right now tied back up. Indiana on a 4-0 run, and this game is back to tied.
Get it over the block, because you're not hitting through it.
There's not much you can do on that one. There's Brisic at the net. Bounced right back by Moeller. Taken by Peters. Sheridan Atkinson right off of Nora Meehan.
In the third, so Indiana better have theirs fixed too.
Zaria Stahl now serving to Brisic. Ali Badowski. Oh, a beautiful, beautiful dive by Stahl. Catino now. Dumped over. There's Bierman. To Evans. Slammed down right in the middle by Blake Moeller.
Now that they're serving more aggressive, they're starting to get some momentum, get on a scoring run. They need to continue to serve aggressive.
They need to get this crowd back into a beautiful dive there by Evans. Just pushed over. Brisic. Asdale. Returned by Stahl. Asdale again. And this time she gets it. 22-18. And the crowd is now on their feet, trying to will IU back into this one. Lebo with the serve. Taken by Catino, just pushed over. Bierman taps it over. Brooke Peters. Brisic. Oh, and a beautiful shot by Kristen Ostak to finish it here. Taken by Bierman. Line violation on IU, and just like that, the game is over. The match is over, and Purdue with the quick sweep of IU. It's the final non-conference matchup of the season for the Indiana Hoosiers tonight as they play host to the Louisville Cardinals here in Andy Moore Field. I'm Dan Black. Alongside me is Paul Centeni. And Paul, strike three high and outside, but got her swinging. A strong way to open up the top of the first for Tara Trainer.
And it passed a little bit just before the dugout ends.
3-2, low and outside for ball 4, so that'll put a base runner on with 1 out here in the top of the second.
20 and a third.
Flied out to left. And a great play for out number 2. Over there in left field by Funk. Climbs the fence to take away a foul ball. And 3-0. Outside for ball 4. So runner on first and second, 1 out for Megan Hensley. 2-2 on the way. That's skied out to left. Under it is Lambert for out number 3, but nonetheless, the Cardinals tack on 1 run and take the lead here in the top of the third. We're heading to the bottom. Pitching change for the Hoosiers as bases are loaded here in the top of the fourth. Emily Gooden stepping in, making her 31st appearance of the season. She got a 2.3 ERA, even at 5 wins and 5 losses. 85 in the third innings pitched, and she's in quite a jam that she's taking over. That one's skied behind us, out of play for strike one.
Yeah, we see Lacefield coming up on anything, and they're going to go right to Westmoreland at home.
Oh, yeah.
The whole infield will. It's just a play you got to make.
So the 0-2 to Caitlin Ferguson. Swung on and missed, and a huge strikeout out of the bullpen for Gooden gives Indiana their first out of this top of the fourth.
Also, the winds are going to be picking up at 20 miles an hour.
Seems like it. That one off the glove of Westmoreland, and the play of the plate, and she is safe. A weekend.
A weekend in Maryland.
Fouled back behind the plate. An easy catch by Jordan will end the inning. So Indiana leaves 2 on. We're headed to the top of the fifth. That one's chopped over to third. A nice play by Ferguson. Throws on to second. We get the lead runner, Uden, at second as Lambert will make it over to first for out number 1. Over in her IU clothes. That one's lined into center field, and there it is. The hit we have been waiting for all day. How about that? You called it.
223. Rebecca Blitz is now she is third and surpasses Monica Armendariz.
Looking to bunt. Pulls back. Throw down to first. She got her. A great play by Bella Norton behind the plate. A perfect throw down to Taylor Uden. Gets Schindler leaning and out number 1 here in the swung on and hit out to left field. That'll be over the head of Lambert. That'll fall, and 2 runs will score, so it'll be a stand-up double for Bass. The 1-2 to Uden. Swung on, fouled into the Louisville bullpen, so we'll do it again. Staying alive is the senior.
And just right now, it's 1-2, but you never know. Louisville does have a pitcher warming up right now in the bullpen.
Mm-hmm.
So if they need to go to her, I can't tell the number. If I can get that to you, we'll get that to you. But they got someone warming up.
The 1-2. Strike 3, and that'll do it. Louisville taking the big win over Indiana. Indiana fought back relentlessly in the bottom half of the 7th, scoring 4 runs, but it just was not enough as Louisville defeats Indiana 11-7 here at Andy Moore Field.
We have one in the books, and it's always good to get the first one, out of the way with a win.
Basketball is officially back in Bloomington for the 119th season, and from what we saw this evening, it should be a fun one. The Hoosiers used their home court advantage in Game 1 of the campaign, beating the Chicago State Cougars 104-55. IU came out hot and didn't let up all first half, with the story coming from the start. Romeo Langford, the number 5 recruit in the nation and the 18-year-old tasked with helping turn the Indiana program back into relevancy, went off in the first 20 minutes, scoring 17 of his 19 total points in that stretch. Langford credits his off-season preparation for getting him ready for this spectacular debut.
Trainers before I got here like in June, and then also just the preparation from the coaching staff from June all the way until preseason.
From the look of it, IU couldn't ask for any more positive takeaways from tonight's game. Langford and his teammates found some things that the numbers didn't tell.
I think one of the big things is guys that might not usually play as much, they get quality minutes, and that could be big for our team moving forward, just because you never know when you're going to get your chance to get out there. So it's good for guys that don't play as much to get experience, and you want to try to not get complacent at any point, so just keep pushing it like we did.
The Hoosiers will look to use the momentum of this big team victory as they look ahead to Friday when they play host to Montana State. For iOS TV Sports, I'm Dan Black. The Hoosiers set the tone for the game in the first half, outshooting Notre Dame 10-2 with 3 shots on goal compared to the Fighting Irish's 1. None of those shots reached the back of the net in the first half, resulting in a slower start than they wanted.
It's a little frustrating at times, but I mean, we knew it was coming, and we just got to keep doing what we were doing because we were playing well and we were creating chances, just didn't hit the back of the net.
The scoring breakthrough finally came in the 67th minute when junior Austin Poncho netted what would be the game-winning goal off of assists by Francesco Moore and Spencer Glass.
Spencer is one of the better servers on our team, if not the top server. And then Poncho doesn't know when to not make a run, meaning he's always going to finish the play.
The bigger story of tonight's game was the stellar play of IU's defense. The Hoosiers refused to quit defensively throughout the game. IU would allow the Fighting Irish only 8 total shots by the end of the 90 minutes. It was an easy night for freshman goalkeeper Trey Muse, who only had to make 1 save in the win. This shutout marks the 7th of the season for IU and is the most in the team's first 9 matches of the season since 1979.
Grant and Timmy and our backs, they're as good as they come too, so I thought again it was a real bit of a stalemate.
Tonight's 1-0 victory will surely make up for last year's 4-0 loss at South Bend.
It's a resume win for us as we move forward through the year, and our guys are really excited. Last year was a tough year, long trip back from South Bend, and this is a lot of smiles in the locker room.
For Our Indiana, I'm Dan Black. The bigger story of tonight's game was the stellar play of IU's defense. With all the close ties that Big Al has with both coaches and players, past and present, there's one that he stays in touch with the most all these years later. A bulk of the aggressiveness came from junior forward Kim Royster, who had her coming out game, notching her second career double-double. Well, there were plenty of negatives to take away from this game. One of the positives was the play of freshman guard Jalen Penn in the second half. As important as defense is, offense is still the name of the game, and the Hoosiers found plenty of it tonight. They shot 64% from the field and 45% from beyond the arc. Much of this offense came from the tandem of Evan Fitzner and Romeo Langford. From the look of it, IU couldn't ask for any more positive takeaways from tonight's game. But Langford and his teammates found some things that the numbers didn't tell. A 34-point thrashing of the Screaming Eagles, head coach Archie Miller still had plenty he didn't like about his team's performance this evening. After a blowout loss to Duke last week, Indiana looked to start Big Ten play on the right foot against Northwestern. The Hoosiers and the Wildcats tangled all afternoon with neither team gaining an edge. Northwestern's offense ran through senior center Derek Parton, who ended the game with 24 points and 10 rebounds. Indiana responded with Romeo Langford, who finished with 5 rebounds and a team-high 20 points, and Juwan Morgan, who ended with 12 boards while scoring 17 points of his own. However, Morgan would go down later in the ballgame with an undisclosed injury, to which head coach Archie Miller said his team needs to work that much harder.
To me, there's nothing more important than working hard every day as a group, and maybe that's why we were able to pull the game out today, because we had a lot of different guys in there, especially the last 2 minutes competing.
The Hoosiers will need that extra hard work and competitive edge as they head to Penn State Tuesday night, looking to go 2-0 in Big Ten play for the first time since 2015. After those 5 straight road games and 5 straight losses, the team looked to bounce back Sunday at home versus Ohio. Indiana struck first 11 minutes into the game when junior midfielder Taylor Swope scored off a rebound, giving the Hoosiers the 1-0 lead. The Bobcats tied it up in the 20th minute as junior Kendall Ballard flicked the ball in the top right of the net past goalie Katie Johnson. Just moments later, in the 23rd minute, Claire Woods put Indiana back on top off of a straight shot from the left corner. In the 28th minute, IU opened their lead to 2 as Sierra Girard scored on a penalty stroke for her 6th goal of the season. In the waning moments, Ohio's Maria Russell scored off a rebound, but it would not matter as the Hoosiers took the 3-2 victory. The Hoosiers will look to notch another win Thursday afternoon when they host the Michigan Wolverines. Hours before game time, he's here, getting himself ready for the battle ahead. He's not playing or coaching, but still, he waits. His name is Al Carpenter, and he is one of the biggest IU football fans you will ever meet.
Nobody could ever say that I didn't love IU because they've kept me alive being around all those guys.
Al has cerebral palsy, so he was never able to play football, but that never took away his passion for the game, which he shows each and every week. Throughout a game, anyone near Al is able to see just how much he loves it, even if IU ends up on the wrong side of things.
Shit.
Although football is his main passion, Carpenter has a second love: baseball.
I always liked baseball, and I have coached a little baseball in my time. So one hand washes the other. You take on the things that you love the most, and the football is number one, of course, and being at the football games, and then in the summertime spending my time watching IU play baseball is very relaxing. I can't think of anything that relaxes me more.
Still, it is football that everyone knows him from, and by everyone, I mean everyone. On any given game day, one can see Al patrolling the field, talking to players, former coaches, and even fans that are fans of him. It is because of the relationships that he's made that have given him some of his greatest experiences, like attending the 1979 Holiday Bowl.
The whole bowl situation, it was a first experience for a lot of things for me. I never did a whole lot of traveling or anything like that, but I sure got a taste of what it's like, and it was just a great way and a great making the brotherhood between me and the team stronger.
With all the close ties that Big Al has with both coaches and players, past and present, there's one that he stays in touch with the most all these years later.
Coach Corso and I spent quite a bit of time together.
Lee Corso coached at IU from 1973 to 1982, and during that time grew close to Carpenter.
He was my official cheerleader. He was the official cheerleader for my life. He was close to the football team and close to me and my family, and I had just an unbelievable amount of respect for him.
It was because of Corso that Carpenter was able to go to the Holiday Bowl and gain one of his most prized possessions, the championship ring. Through the years, nothing has changed. Al continues to cheer on his Hoosiers week in and week out, always excited and always believing in his Hoosiers, even if others don't.
We win this game, I want the right to burn that jacket.
As the Indiana club hockey team took to the ice Tuesday morning, one player knew history was in sight. Christian Sherman-Colecchio, a senior forward, came into the day with 65 career goals, 6 shy of becoming the all-time goal-scoring leader. Sherman-Colecchio, a New Jersey native, began skating at 2 years old. He soon moved to Georgia due to his dad's job. There he started his hockey career, but then moved to Boston for better competition. Then it was back home again, and the geographic journey began in earnest.
And then my parents moved to New Jersey, and so there's a really good junior team there called the New Jersey Hitmen, so I played for them my first year of juniors, and then after that year, I went and played for the Portland Junior Pirates, and that was my age-out year.
Christian had offers to continue his journey at a small D3 school, but chose IU due to its size, plus he could continue doing what he loved.
Yeah, I love it. I mean, it's the best sport. I'm biased, obviously, but, like, it's the best sport, I think. Hockey is, it's my love. I will choose it over, besides my family, I would choose it over anything.
That love for the game has not gone unnoticed by his head coach.
Obviously, he's naturally gifted offensively, more than most kids could ever hope for, especially myself. But, it's just his work ethic, leadership. Those are the things that have really progressed over the past few years.
Scoring goals is a big part of why Christian loves to play hockey, but the relationships he's built within the team on this ice is what makes him want to work hard every single day.
It's a brotherhood for sure, I'd say. Like everybody loves each other, and that's really good because it's that relationship off the ice is bringing to our success on the ice.